welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan Aranda here, my best life Paraguay. And today we're going to be checking out Areguá. I have done a video on Areguá before. And so the maps are going to pop up where myself and Simon, make sure you guys go follow Simon in Paraguay, has really good information about getting residency here as a Canadian. And then follow Aaron, the Hispanic expat as well, who you'll see on our walking journey here in Areguá. Okay, so real quickly, the photos are popping up here, starting from the church, which is a good place to walk. And then on the map here, you'll see we passed by Amba Cafe, and then another little cafe eatery place called Mercadito B. And then we're going to take a left down the hill, check out the main market area. It has beautiful pieces of artwork. And from there, here goes myself outside the Areguá sign that's at the bottom of the hill of the church. And then from there, we eat at a little pizzeria place. And then from there, we take a cab over to, which I didn't film last time in my last video, but we take a cab over to the pier of Areguá, which is the Playa Municipal Beach of Areguá, a beautiful area. Okay. So I got some photos running quick through here, and then it'll come to the footage itself. But yeah, so this video, you guys, I'm going to dive deep into my story again. For those who are new to the channel, there's quite a few of you who are new to the channel, right? And then I'm also, going to get into my time being here a year, living here in Paraguay. Okay. So man, just Areguá is a special place, man. It really, truly is. And actually, where I took this picture here, I took this twice over when I went back in October and then here, right? And I could see and just feel a different change in myself. Number one, too, the footage is actually much better this time around because the sun is out, but it's not hot. It's a perfect day. We went here, I want to say in mid-March. Okay, it's one of the best times to come to Paraguay when you can hit those spring or fall months. Okay, um, yeah. So this, I want to say, was probably like making maybe an 80 degrees day, just absolutely beautiful. We check out the market. There's also a place where Aaron and his dad shop. This is actually the place, ZM Accessories, I believe. A little bit later, the business card is going to pop up, if it didn't already. But the business card is going to pop up for this specific place. So you guys, and Instagram pages as well for the cafes and the pizzeria place that we eat at as well. In case you guys are interested in trying these places once you guys visit Areguá. Okay. Here's the pizza place. It's called Mundo Pizza. Great pizza. Spectacular, actually. um, yeah. So here, you can get a half of one flavor and then half of the other flavor. I forgot which flavors we got, but really, truly great pizza. And yeah, so here just some pictures we took at the beach. I'm really proud of the selfie stick that comes in super handy as a YouTuber that I'm actually using right now to prop up my phone to film this. And then actually after the pier, we actually take a walk back and we hang out at this little place where they're playing peaky ball, which is soccer volleyball, and we just hang out there and talk to the guys, and we're drinking some beers and whatnot. And then at the very end, we come to this. I say it's the best asadito in Paraguay, right? But there's this really wonderful family, a father, a mother, and then their daughter, who run this asadito stand. Asadito is like the little steaks, skewers on a stick, right? And they also got choripan, so it's chorizo, which is our sausages, and then you eat them like as a choripan, which is pan, which is bread, and so you eat like sandwiches, chorizo sandwiches, basically. Okay, and again, so before we get in the footage, again, here is the walking map. We start at the Church of Areguá and work our way down to the market to the pizza place. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold and a fever here, so this is the first day I'm feeling a little bit better. So excuse me for that. So this is at the bottom of the hill. The church is at the top. Again, if you guys want more footage of the top of the church, I've done a whole other video on it. I talk more about the history of Areguá. Beautiful town, as you guys are going to see. And yeah, we're going to get into it. So yeah, so before I get into kind of my time here in Paraguay, for people who are newer to the channel, I do want to explain my life. And I actually sometimes I wonder if I annoy people for telling my story over again. But actually, I talked to somebody who's really famous down here, a Mexican YouTuber, and but more of a TikToker. His name is Eddie El Arte del Nomada, and me and Aaron and his dad had the privilege to hang out with him for an afternoon and a night, right? And I asked him a question like, how often like can you tell your own story, right? Because he finds himself in that position quite a bit, right? Like reminding his audience and new people like who come to his channel and to his content about who he is and why he's there in Paraguay and how he fell in love with Paraguay, the country, and how he started his Mexican restaurants, how he has a love for the people. And you know what he said? He said, as many times as you need to, right? So I know my channel, right? It's not exactly take a look at this tree and take a look at this branch and take a look at this flower and take a look at this nature and this is what this is called. I do a little bit of that, like here and there in true walk and talks, right? But my channel is more about life and helping you guys get settled abroad and showing you guys real life and realistic life and prices and where to live and small towns and whatnot. Um, so, anyways, getting back to this town, Areguá is beautiful, man. Really, truly. Okay. So with that little bit of I guess advice I got from Eddie, right? El Arte del Nomada. Make sure you go follow him on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, um, and myself for that matter. But yeah, so I guess I'll just get in my story. So the theme of this this video here is going to be my most difficult and most rewarding experience. But before we get into that, shout out to Amba Cafe. We're going to take a walk in here. It's a really beautiful cafe, you guys. Okay. Sorry, I just need some tea. Excuse me, you guys. So, the most difficult and rewarding experience has been this move to Paraguay. Okay. And I often ask myself, am I crazy? If we're going against the fray, if we're doing something different, for starting this channel, for having faith that this channel is gonna one day carry me and be really meaningful for people. And I already know that it is meaningful for people. People tell me almost on a daily basis. Um, but am I crazy for not wanting to engage in the rat race? I was already 33 a year ago when I made this move, and now I just turned 34, right? Um, Am I the crazy one, or are the crazy people? With respect, I do say this, but is it crazy to accept uncertainty and impossibility of the economic situation in the United States of America or the other high cost of living Western countries that you're from? You know, um, is it crazy for me to take a chance or maybe, just maybe, pursue my own dreams for once, And yeah. So, I ran through that question often after week after month, since I've been here. And obviously, I've been enjoying life, right? I don't just ask myself these philosophical questions. I meet wonderful people like Aaron, Simon, Polo, his dad, go on trip or just check out little towns here and there, check out places, show you guys places. Again, this is Amba Cafe. Shout out to Amba Cafe. great prices for pastries, teas, coffee, cocido, all that good stuff. You know, we're gonna check out the back area of this place before we can continue our walk as well. Um, yeah, so you know, there comes a time in life, and I was at that time in life where I knew I needed to do something. So before I get into that, though, my backstory is when I was born, I was essentially left at the hospital here in Paraguay. So I am Paraguayan, right, by blood. And so that was in 1991. And I was adopted in the following year, right, by my parents in the United States. And I lived my whole life in the United States, right? And I tried to live as good as I could, making mistakes as a teenager and as a young man. Certainly, certainly was not perfect, but I also went to college and started to pursue my degrees in college. But there was something missing, and what was that something? That something was for me to come here by myself and to know my biological family. Um, I knew had to meet my birth family, and so that's what I did in 2012. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Mm, apologies, I'm still fighting off that cold here, so that's why I'm drinking tea. Again, my apologies. Okay, so and that first trip was it was wonderful, but it was very hard when I met my biological family, more in particular my biological mother, right? Because we haven't spoke since. I've tried to continue the relationship. I've talked about this in past videos, but I have a great relationship with pretty much all the rest of my family, siblings, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, cousins. So I'm able to and have formed those relationships over the years, and I've tried to visit almost every single year since, right? And I've also made sure that my family has been well over the years too, to my capacity. So that's why when I came here, moved here last year in July, I already had a really solid foundation, right? Um, but before we get into last year, let's back it up a little bit until 2022 to 2023. Now, before this year or before this new year, right? I had engaged in the rat race after college. I did bartending, serving. Eventually, got uh, uh, I guess, a entry level job, and I started getting a better, more experience in my professional job. I thought that would continue this path of working in this professional job. Uh, 1 second, you guys. So, anyways, my apologies. I need some remedies. Okay. But yeah, so that time in my life, I engaged in the rat race. I thought that was the path to success, right? As a younger man, work my way up, make sure that I keep getting promoted or getting better paid jobs, right? As many of us do. And then I continued that thought process, and also had a longer term relationship for quite a few years, right? And it wasn't the perfect relationship, not even close, right? But I thought we would continue. But before 2023, or right at the end of 2022, around Christmas, we had broke it off, right? Before that, I want to shout out to Mercadito B, where we're going to check out now here. Um, yeah, this place is awesome, man. These little side cafes in this beautiful town. So make sure that you take a time to check these places out. Okay, so we're gonna do a walkthrough here, and we're gonna continue our longer walk through the market after this. Okay, so yeah, so I thought that that was the way for life, but then the pandemic happened. But even more so than the pandemic, um, inflation skyrocketed in the last few years. House prices were getting out of control, and I just looked at my salary and just thought that I can't do this, and I certainly can't do it alone. You know what I mean? Um, and I didn't even have any issues starting in a condo, but even condo prices, I just felt were, they were those condo prices were at the same price of what my parents bought their beautiful home for, and I just thought that this just ain't fair. I can't do this, not off my one salary. I'm not even married yet, and anyway, so but even condos, I didn't want to pursue that. So I had a complete shift in mindset and say, you know what? I'm seeing more and more people move abroad. I'm luckily I'm from Paraguay, so after that breakup, I gave myself around 5 months till my birthday to see if me and the girl I was with, if we had any chance of working out again. Now, looking back, that was far too much time to to give that to even consider that, right? That was really stupid of me. But I gave myself to my birthday, um, and then I said, if we don't work out by this date, I'm gonna pursue residency, right? And so a few months later, in 2023, in September, well, actually, yeah, right before that, I decided, even before my residency trip, I wanted to start a YouTube channel, right? I wanted to start documenting everything. So I already was doing a little bit of graphic design in my job, but then I started creating my logo, the same logo that you guys see on the screen here on my Instagram. I'm really proud of my logo. I love my logo, and I've done other logos for people as well, right? Just in case you want help, with some graphic design stuff. Anyways, shameless plug. But yeah. So then I came here in 2023 to pursue residency, and because I had a birthright to jump to permanent or residency slash citizenship. Um, it was slightly easier for me, right? But I got that secured in that trip, and it was a really great thing to celebrate. And also, I got set up with a bank account, etc. So then the next time I would come to live here, I would enter in with my cedula ID. Okay, so that's how that went down, and yeah, I was really proud. I was really proud to have that documentation that yeah, I have the ability now to live in two countries. Right, that's a very important thing, as you guys know who are pursuing a permanent residency or citizenship around the world. Right, so I made a game plan, and the most logical timeline was, well, I was looking around that I probably shouldn't renew my lease again. And now by that time, I had 9 months, right? And I'm going to be honest, I did kind of fall for a girl when I was here in that time period, right? Pretty stupidly, right? But, I did, ask her to be my girlfriend, and we had a wonderful month together, right? And I thought that I could continue that when I got here later, but it didn't work out. But that's well done now. But um, I guess I can talk more about that later. But the point is the next 9 months, yeah, I was. It was a good distraction to get over my American relationship, though. I will say that. But even though I didn't work out with the Paraguayan girl here, I still felt like I was moving forward to something in my country, right here in Paraguay. So, did all the logistical stuff, make sure my dog here, you probably even see him on the camera. He got here to Paraguay with me. It was a whole process to try to bring him, right? A complicated process, but I needed to do it. I was not going to make the move without him. And yeah, and just, trying to save as much as I possibly could, get access to credit, if I needed it, which I unfortunately have needed it, right? Um, but yeah, and I made this move, and then you guys can see the rest of my channel since then. Uh, Real quickly, I'll say that I'm putting together kind of a slideshow and a clip of a really shorter video, much shorter video, maybe like 7 minutes long of my journey here in Paraguay, my first year, right? But now I'm just talking about the experience overall. Okay, so I landed back in July of 2024, 1 year ago, 1 year and a couple days ago, right? A month later, last year, I would get settled into this duplex that I'm in right now. This actually might be one of the last times you see me in this duplex. I may be moving, but I'm not completely sure yet. So don't quote me on that, but I'm not sure. But if you do want to check out like my duplex, I do have videos on that as well. And if I do move, actually, this place was going to go for sale again. Okay, just in case you guys really do like this place. This is a great place, but I just want to be in a different neighborhood personally. Okay, so yeah, and then um, yeah, and then my time before making the move here as well, before I begin into my time here, I was just noticing everything going wrong in the States. I already talked about economics, but I also saw the an unstable political future, which is exactly what's playing out now. And it didn't matter what side of the political aisle it was going to come from, in my eyes, because it was either we're going to get another do nothing Democrat, right? Do nothing Joe Biden, who didn't do a thing for 4 years, or we're going to get Trump. And we ended up with Trump. And Trump is extremely wishy washy and all over the place. And unfortunately, U.S. relations around the world is not the best right now because of his presidency. I'm not going to get into all that, but it's true. I've done a video on that recently. Um, and so I just knew that there was going to be more of an unstable political future, no matter what, right? A lot of people, Americans, will say because of election results, now I'm gonna move. I'm like, that's how I know you're just super incredibly not serious, right? And then plus those people always choose the worst countries, like, oh, I'm going to England or I'm going to Canada. It's like, dude, they have like 90% of the same problems we do. And plus they're still like incredibly high cost of living countries. You know what I mean? So um those kind of people, they just they make me laugh, man, because they're just not serious. Like this kind of stuff you have to plan for years, and it should have nothing to do with a political election coming up in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, etc. With the exception of some really crazy stuff like Nazis taking over Europe. Like that would be like the exception. You know what I mean? So I mean, you know, the point is, I just saw everything going downhill in the U.S. But the most importantly, the inability to live a economically fruitful life, and be able to afford something as simple as a condo, which in generations past generations have been able to. And if I was just about 10 years, if I was born about 10 years earlier, I would have been fine. You know, for pursuing some of my dreams in the U.S. But now it's kind of one of those things where it was a blessing in disguise. Where yeah, maybe I would have pursued the rat race in the U.S. maybe with something more affordable, but would I have lived a fulfilling life? Because this in Paraguay, like I said, one of the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, but also the most rewarding. You know, Um, yeah, excuse me. So this is a Ceramica ZMA. Make sure that you get her numbers get into WhatsApp and you pass by her locale here. A wonderful woman does beautiful pieces of Nyanduti artwork as well. Nyanduti is the stitching, um, and I guess it's the spider web we call it in Guarani. And so beautiful works of Nyanduti. What do we call it? Atrapa sueños, which are dream catchers as well, and that I'll be filming in a short second here. And all kinds of works of barro, clay pieces, leather pieces that come from other parts of the country, anything and everything you can think of here. Uh, Arguably the best place to get gifts in all of Paraguay. One of the best places. Okay. So yeah, make sure that I don't think she's on Instagram. I tried to look that up, but make sure you at least stop by her locale. That's the lady here, very nice lady, and you pick up some of her work, and you take it back with you. I know I'm going back once I have a house here. Most certainly in particular, so I can get it furnished and with all the correct things, right? Yeah. So going back to the bigger theme, right? Yeah. So the Western world, man, not just the states. Here we'll hear the dream catchers, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, man, the Western world, and I've heard this from Europeans, Canadians, Australians, New Zealand, pretty much the entire English Western speaking world is having the same issues with astronomical prices for houses. I think Australia and Canada are even worse off than the U.S. And I think even the UK is even worse. So I'm just like, you know, we're all going through some of these same issues. So people who are go-getters are doing things like getting residency, checking out countries, checking out economic opportunities and land, um, and rent prices and house prices and condo prices and stuff that I show on my channel as well, because they're trying to set themselves up for a better future, right? As soon as humanly possible. Some people are able to do it quicker than others, but it still, should arguably be one of your biggest goals in life to get yourself set up abroad in a lower cost of living country, um, because it's going to be economically impossible for far too many people. I will even say the majority of Americans. And it's playing out in the numbers right now. It doesn't matter if you're in Mississippi, Alabama, or if you're in New York or California or Hawaii. I mean, you need over $100,000 as an individual to be even a homeowner. So, you know, I mean, and don't even get me started about dating and marriage and divorce and divorce courts and alimony and all that stuff. you know, I'll save that for another video. But it most certainly doesn't play out in a man's favor, at least not in the states. So, and actually most of Western countries. And so, I just, you see the writing on the wall, whether it be economically, politically, dating, marriage. Like, there's so many things are stacked against you. So, us younger men, Simon, Aaron, myself, we're just wondering, like, God is can we do something different, right? And all of us are at different stages with this stuff too. Simon has much more of a mind for agriculture than I do. I'm a city boy. What I would certainly love to learn in the future, but that's a huge learning curve for me, for example. Um, but then again, I know quite a bit more about language and the culture and the people here. You know what I mean? This is the pizza place right here that's popping up on the screen. So like we're all able to kind of work together to and we're good friends. me, Aaron, and Simon here, and we kind of work off each other's strengths and share information, and we're always like talking back and forth and all that kind of good stuff too. We tried to bring in other expats into our circle, but it's been difficult because some older expats and just some expats in general kind of change up on you, unfortunately. Yeah, so uh, you know, I guess besides some of that, my time here in Paraguay is actually a good transition. Um, this is going to be the last part of this video where we check out the uh, Playa Municipalidad Playa de Areguá, the municipal beach of Areguá. You come in, you pay about 20 cents. I think it's like dos mil or un meal, which is like 15 cents entry. Maybe a little bit more if you have a car. And yeah, you have these grounds you can walk on. They sell food, I think like hot dogs, maybe ice cream, maybe beers too. I'm not sure. But you can go down to the pier, which is where we're going to check out. Um, Beautiful place to hang out with friends and family for the day. They do close this place off at nighttime though. Um, but certainly a great place to come and visit, right? Areguá should certainly be on your trip plans, right? So, yeah, what this video is really about, my time in Paraguay, has been amazing, really, truly. Even with some of the personal ups and downs and heartbreak and not seeing family and friends from back home, also not really having people understand me back home, but also here as well. It's still been wonderful, right? It's still been wonderful to be part of a society that is going in the right direction, where a middle class is upcoming, where people have respect for one another, where there's healthy nationalism, where fruit and vegetables are of abundance, and you can start up gardens in your backyard almost anywhere. Where even Europeans say that or science has proven that places in the Nordic countries in Europe, our trees grow up anywhere from like 5 to 15 times faster. So you can nature also kind of saves you here. It reminds you that, and it's year round where you're able to enjoy nature. It's a very healthy country in that regard as well. That things are always growing and producing for the people, right? And which is a big reason why Paraguay is so self-sustainable too. If you guys want, go check out one of my videos from about half a year ago, the top 12 reasons to move to Paraguay. I talk more in detail about this stuff, but there's so many micro and macro reasons and personal reasons and societal reasons why Paraguay is a wonderful option for people, right? I know that there are people who do want to try to gatekeep this country, um, but I don't think that that's the right mindset that people should have. Paraguay has always been open to immigrants, and I think that it should be open to the right people, And if you're going to come here and be part of the community and give back to the community, well, you're invited. Bienvenidos, really, truly. Now, that's how I feel about it. And that's how most Paraguayans feel about it. And it actually would be incredibly hypocritical of me to go against that mindset because Paraguay is one of the most accepting countries on the entire planet when it comes to foreigners. Maybe arguably number one in all of Latin America, right? And if you don't believe me, then go check out other channels. They'll all tell you whether you're black, white, doesn't matter. Um, so really, truly, Paraguay is a special place. It was a special place in my heart. And from the day I was born here to when I started exploring this country back in 2012, my family coming times here since I've been living here, Paraguay has there's a certain special something in the air. Whether you're in the city, you're in these smaller towns, smaller regions, it has a charm. The entire country, and then certain towns like Areguá have a even more of a special charm and harmony and peace to it, right? Uh, that just doesn't exist in other places on the planet, you know. And this also goes to Paraguay's honoring of our native heritage as well. We're one of the only countries in the world that even speaks bilingually, um, Guarani and Spanish, right? But beyond that, we honor the calm nature and the way that natives respect nature, and we try to carry that and honor that as a country and as individuals and as communities within Paraguay as well. Okay, so this is a special place, and if you're coming here for the right reasons, this can be your paradise. Really, truly, it can be. Um, and I hope that people make it their paradise. You know, if you're coming here for the wrong reasons, quick thrills, all the degenerate stuff that I don't even want to say in this video because I want this to be a more wholehearted video. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. Don't come here for that. I certainly won't respect you. I won't even engage with you. And when you message me about that stuff, you'll immediately be shut down, and I'll immediately uh, not want to help you, not even one bit. I won't even respond, especially the amount of people who are starting to contact me regardless, you know? Um, so, you know, it's a wonderful place, really, truly. And not to get negative or anything, again, but there are some ups and downs that I have been through, especially when it comes to just this is my first journey. That I haven't even moved a state over in the U.S., let alone like a year to halfway across planet Earth. Um, but I do miss my family and my friends, and sometimes I even wake up with certain nostalgia for my old life that I had, the old apartment I had, the relationship I had in the States, And it sucks that I do think of that sometimes, but there's nothing I could have changed or have done. I know that in my heart of hearts because I try to continue, especially the relationship, even looking back, it was the wrong thing to do, but I tried. And she knows I did, and her family knows I did. So, you know, I know that's something negative that kind of put the catalyst for me to do all this stuff. But if we're gonna be honest, usually there is some sort of catalyst or awakening or something traumatic that happens for most people to wake up and pursue a different method of trying to interpret life, take your next steps, etc. Right. So I know that this might bore people, and you guys are some of you people are gonna tell me, why aren't you talking about the lake and the fish, and why aren't you just only talking about Paraguay? Well, you guys, well, what have I even talked about in my dating video? I'm Paraguayan too. I know I have a different story than a lot of Paraguayans, but I embrace a lot of what a lot of Paraguayans do, whether it be the welcoming nature of you guys, showing you guys, connecting with you guys. That's just what Paraguayans do as well, right? And yeah, I can get a little hot headed if I feel that there's disrespect or personal insults. I can go toe to toe with people too. But overall, I try to be a decent person. I try to be un buen representante de mi país, a good ambassador, uh, um, un buen embajador de mi país, because it's my responsibility. I'm from a very tiny, special country. This is not America where it's 350 million people or whatever. This is 7 million people, and we're a very special people. So if when I do invite folks to the country through my channel, through these videos, through my story, if you guys if you guys hate on my story, well, I'm sorry, but you're not gonna if you, I mean you're not most likely gonna get along with Paraguayans, because Paraguayans love to tell stories as well, love to introduce themselves, and also invite you to be part of their families, their society, their get to know them on a deeper level. That's more part of a Latin American thing too, you know. So no, it's kind of interesting, but you know, if a lot of you guys can't vibe with an American version of a Paraguayan, there's a really a low chance that you guys can't vibe with Paraguayans on the ground here, right? Because we like to compartir, not literally. Well, yes, literally, like like food, literally what we're looking at on the screen, but also figuratively. Um, we like to share experiences. That's what Paraguay is. That's what Latin America is, right? So if you're coming with a closed mindset or I don't care about you as a person mindset, you're not going to do well here. Paraguay is more than just trees and hills and streets and houses. Paraguay is a country of people. People are the culture. When you date, women are representatives of the culture. Um, that kind of thing. Okay. So we're wrapping up on the video, you guys. I gave a lot of random thoughts, but hopefully it kind of all makes sense on a deep level. Again, I'm sorry. I know I'm getting over a cold here. But this is Ryan Aranda. I've been here 1 year in Paraguay. Thank you so much for those who are subscribed to my channel and who keep hanging in there for videos. Really do. My heart goes out to you guys. Keep reminding you guys to hit me up for consultations. We can talk about anything that has to do with Paraguay. Um, and yeah, and you know, let me be helpful for you guys. Schedule that one on one. Besides that, man, I'm just really happy that I've been able to have this experience. Hopefully, I can keep it going and going and going. If I do have to go back to the U.S. at some point, that won't be ideal, but I'll have to do what I have to do. And but no matter what, I'm glad I formed this channel, this community. I'm getting to know some of you guys, and yeah, just thanks for even when you guys just hit me up and say, "Hey, Ryan, you inspired us to take a trip." Honestly, all the hours I put into these videos, and these are all my own videos down to the thumbnails, right? Uh, Honestly, you guys give me the will to keep going with this stuff. Okay, so again, I know that we had Areguá on the screen. Check out the town as well. Beautiful town, and just much love, you guys. Really, truly, can't say any more. That's it. And take care of yourselves. If you're struggling, I've been there, and you know, even this is a new journey too when you get here as well. So my heart goes out to you empathetically as well. If you're in any struggling position, I feel you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, that's the Paraguayan goodbye. Very long, right? Right now, Aranda, my best life Paraguay. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. To the next one. Peace.